Hi everyone, welcome to day 4 of Advent of GPU Code, where I'm trying to solve Advent of Code problems on the GPU in Python. So I pushed up yesterday's solution and everything, so let's move on. I've got my Jupyter Lab set up here again. I've made like a new folder for day 4 and kind of already started. I've got like a solution notebook with nothing in it and an input text file with nothing in it. I've also got my GPU dashboard open just so I can see what my dashboard's doing. So far, nothing I've done has made the dashboard really do anything. I've not really stressed the GPU yet. Everything just happens so quickly. But I've got all this open. If you have like any questions, have a look at the link down here, wherever it is. I can't point in the right direction. Have a look at the link. There's a bunch of kind of FAQ type questions there. But I'm working through in Python, mainly using number to solve the Advent of Code problem. So let's have a look at day 4. You arrive at the airport only to realize that you grabbed the North Pole credentials instead of your passport. While these documents are extremely similar, North Pole credentials aren't issued by a country and therefore aren't actually valid documentation for travel in most of the world. It seems like you're not the only one having problems though. A very long line is formed for the automatic passport scanners, and the delay could upset your travel itinerary. Due to some questionable network security, you realize you might be able to solve both of these problems at the same time. The automatic passport scanners are slow because they're having trouble detecting which passports have all the required fields. The required fields they expect are birth year, issue year, expiration year, height, hair color, eye color, passport ID, country ID, and they've got acronyms representing these. Passport data is validated in batch files, which is your puzzle input. Each passport is represented in a sequence of key value pairs separated by spaces or new lines. Passports are separated by blank lines. Here is an example batch file containing 4 passports. Okay. The first passport is valid, all 8 fields are present. The second passport is invalid, it is missing HGT, the height field. A third passport is interesting, the only missing field is CID, so it looks like data from North Pole credentials, not a passport at all. What was CID? CID is country ID, okay. Surely nobody would mind if you made the system temporarily ignore missing CID fields. Treat this passport as valid. Okay. Fourth passport is missing 2 fields, CID and BYR. Missing CID is fine, but missing any other field is not, so this passport is invalid. According to the above rules, your improved system would report 2 valid passports. Count the number of valid passports, those that have all required fields. Treat CID as optional. Okay, so let's get puzzle input. That, yeah. So a lot of this, right, go on puzzle input. Let's start over here. What I've done so far each day is kind of broken this down into 3 sections, right? So we have processed the data into something that's reasonable to put on the GPU, and then write some code to do the first lot of processing, like the part 1, and then part 2 tends to be like a variation, so the input data stays the same. This one seems heavily like this is all about string processing, right? So we're probably going to end up doing a bunch of this in the data prep bit, and then write some small things. So what I want to do is that we've got these fields, right? These however many fields there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fields. So I want to convert this into an array, basically, like an 8 wide array. I could do this into like a data frame as well, I guess. Yeah, I wonder if doing this as a data frame is like a reasonable thing to do. I'm just curious. Like everything I've done so far has been with number, but this could be like it could be an interesting thing to play around with QDF actually, which is like a GPU version of pandas. The first thing we need to do is read this data in. We have our column names, and then we have like our values here, and we basically just want to check if there are any like null values. So let's start with some code. Let's start just by reading this file in. So with open the input text file, as a file handle, let's just have our like raw input is fh.readlines. I think, although actually, what I might want to do is work through, because a blank line denotes like a new passport, right? And things are broken out onto multiple lines. So like this first line. Hey Graham, thanks for joining. I'm having a hard time using number for this one. Data frame would be an interesting route. Yeah, I think it might be interesting to try this in QDF. I'm trying to think off the top of my head whether there's like a way to make read CSV read this, right, or read text or something. But I might just iterate first and then maybe try and come and improve it in a minute, right? But like there's 3 lines here and then a break, so I need to do something like 4 line in read lines, like start building up the I want to start building up almost like a dictionary, I guess, and then once I've got like a list of dictionaries, convert them into something else. So I'm gonna do all this here for now and we'll see where we go. So for line in filehandler.readlines, I just want to have a look at the line just for now. Okay, so we can do something like that. And then if I just do if line is empty, I'm going to print just something just so I can see what's going on. Not empty, is it? Is it because it's, yes, okay. That's my separators. That kind of works well. So if we have our like, let's just call this data, and this is going to be a list. And then we'll have, every time there's like a blank line, I want to build up a dictionary, right? That's what I want to do. I might do it here, and let's just call it item equals that. And then if it's a blank line, I'm going to reset item and add item to data, right? Data.append item. Okay, so we should here just end up with like a bunch of empty dictionaries in this list. So let's just have a look at what data is if I do that. Yeah, okay, so we've got a bunch of empty dictionaries. Now I need to do something more useful with that. So I need to split these values out. They're space separated, aren't they? If I do like values equals, oh no. And let's continue here as well. And then I can do the rest of my logic here. So let's have my values equals line.split on a space. And then for value in values, I need to do like key and wrong thing. Let's call it key and, let's just call it ij. ij equals value.split. There's a colon, wasn't it? They were colon separated. Yep. And then we want to do item I equals j. Excellent. That's kind of worked. Although we want to do line, I might just do line equals line.strip here. Line equals line.strip. There we go. So that's cleaned that up. That's nice. So I've got like a list of dictionaries here. So I should now be able to do something like import QDF and do df equals QDF dot data frame. I think I might be able to just, can I just do that? And then let's just do df dot head, just have a look at it. Lovely thing. No, that's not worked. Let's just Google pandas from list of dictionaries. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen, to be honest. I'm just going to import pandas as well. Import pandas. Let's just try doing exactly the same thing, but with pandas. Like, it's definitely called data, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that works. So I've got my pandas data frame here now, right, where I've got all my columns. Now let's move this to the GPU. So let's call this GDF equals QDF dot data frame dot. Can I do from pandas? And I'll pass it df. And I'll do GDF dot head. Okay. So I've now got a GPU data frame here. And I can kind of do all standard data frame operations on that, and they'll happen on the GPU. Be interesting to see if I could skip this step. But yeah, there just seems to be some inconsistency in how that was calculated. But then I should be able to do like, what was the question? Passport is valid if only the CID field has a nan, right? I do like pandas count nan in row. Okay, so I could do something like this where I do is null. Okay, so this is showing me how many nan values there are in each row. So first off, we can like get rid of anything where this is greater than 2, right? Because if there's more than 2 nan values, then the whole lot is not worth it. So I should be able to do that is greater than 2, and that should give me a Boolean series. Think. Then if I filter a data frame on that, oh, less than 2. Okay, so that's filtered out one set of stuff. Let's just call this 1 nan, like that. And then I want to check if, okay, so this has got 1 or 0 nans. So then I want to do something like if any of the columns except this is nan. Pandas if any column is nan except oh yeah, so we could just drop the we could just drop that column, right? Because that's fine. We don't want to know about that. So we could say because we don't care about that right now. So we could do one nan dot CID because we don't care about CID. So now if we have a look at one nan, this column is now just full of falses. And then we could do on that is nan any. This is now I want to change the axis as well, don't I? That's how I did that up here, was with the different axis. That's it, and then let's filter that out like that. This is just how many have nans. I think if I go like, never remember how to invert. There we go. We've got 195 rows. So I wonder if I can just go length of that. These are all fully complete things, 195. Not the right answer. Your answer is too low. All right, let's see where I've kind of gone wrong here. So the first passport is valid. All 8 fields are present. Back and look through this again. So I've got my data frame with all the values in, and then I've got less than 2. Yeah, that works, I think. I wonder if I should just delete that column. Telling me, look, there's a nan there. Why is there a nan there? That shouldn't be there. What have I done wrong? Oh yeah, because I've not dropped it yet. Must be losing a column somewhere for some reason. Some information. I wonder if I should just do this sooner, right? If I just drop, let's just do it with GDF. I'm just going to drop that from my data frame for now. We don't care about it, right? It doesn't matter if it's nan or not. So now we've just got it without that, and then let's do GDF. Yeah, those are nans. Still telling me 195. But that is doing what I'm expecting it to do. This is telling me if any of those values are missing. I'm definitely dropping the right column, aren't I? Oh, third passport is interesting. The only missing field is CID, so it looks like data from the North Pole credential. I've dropped CID. That's everything with an AN, which is 63. Just making sure I've got my logic the right way around. I just do length of that minus the length of that. I'm expecting this to be 195. Yeah, it is. Which means this is inverting, which is what I expected it to do. Maybe it's up here. Let's just, I'm just curious, if I just do this with pandas, drop that from there, and then do exactly the same thing on the pandas data frame, do I get the same answer? Yes, good, okay. I was worried that maybe I was doing something wrong in my conversion between the two. That's fine. I've got my GPU data frame. I'm doing data points missing. Yes, I was wondering that if I've like messed up my reading in function, because I think I am doing the right thing. So maybe it is. Let's just have a look at data and see what's going on. Data looks like that. The new line instead of empty line. Yeah. Well, they've all got new line on the end. That's the and I'm stripping that off. Let's just copy this and go through it a bit more. Or line in fh.readlines. Print line. Right, if I go through, I'm kind of doing this kind of thing. Let me just check. I do have 8 columns here, don't I? Yeah. I wondered whether, like, because I'm like space separating things here, whether I'd like done that wrong or something. If I strip the line, just print line dot strip. Line in read lines. Yeah, so they are empty strings, right? These separators. So we've got like 1, 2, 3 things and then a separator. I'm wondering whether I've like done something silly in terms of adding things to the list when they shouldn't be there, or something in terms of this logic. So if maybe I've lost the last one, because there's probably no blank line at the end. I probably need to put that in. It's not the neatest way to do it, but okay, now it's giving me 196. I think that, let's try it. 196. Hooray! Okay, that's just my bad. So I was only adding it every time we found like a break between 2 things, but obviously the last one there wasn't a break. So that's fine. We got 1 gold star. We can continue to part 2. Fine, smashing. Part 2. The line is moving more quickly now, but you overhear airport security talking about how passports with invalid data are getting through. Better do some data validation quick. You continue to ignore the CID field, but each other field has strict rules about what values are valid for automatic validation. Okay, so I can continue from where I am because we can continue to ignore that field. Birth year has to have 4 digits and has to be between 1920 and 2002. Issue year has 4 digits, at least 2010 and at most 2020. Expiration year has to be 4 digits and at least 2020 to 2030. Height can either be followed by centimeters or inches, and if there's centimeters or inches, there's a couple of ranges for those. Hair color, a hash must be followed by exactly 6 characters. Yeah, so it has to be a valid hash number. Passport ID has to be a 9-digit number, including leading zeros, and we're still ignoring country ID. Your job is to count the passports where all things are valid, present and valid. Here's some example rules. Here's some invalid passports. Here are some valid passports. Count the number of valid passports that will have required fields. Okay, so now what I want to do basically is I want to map over every row and do my comparisons here, which a couple of days ago I was having trouble with doing string processing on the GPU, just because there were some things that didn't exist in number that I needed. So I might need to think about how to do this in terms of that, but let's just break these down into separate parts. So I'm just going to say part 1, and then let's do part 2 down here. So this actually is going to be our valid passports. Okay, and then part 2, we're going to take our valid passports and put them through another check. Let's try and do this with number and see kind of where I get to, but I'm apprehensive, but we'll see. So think we could do QDF number map over rows. User defined functions, right? We could apply a UDF on a data frame like we would above with the for all. We need to write a kernel that expects multiple inputs and pass multiple series as arguments when we execute our kernel. Because this is fairly common, this can be difficult to manage. UDF function has to use a CUDA kernel. Yeah, I think so, so that it runs on the GPU. Below we walk through an example of using apply rows. Apply chunks works in a similar way, but also offers more control over low-level kernel behavior. Okay, well, let's try apply rows. Okay, so we have in calls, out calls. Right. So it looks like doing this, we have a kernel. We say which columns we want to go through, and we say which column is going to be our out column and its data type, and some keyword arguments that we're not going to use. But this will get passed in here. So for each row, I don't know whether this is interesting. Let's just try this. I'm curious. I wonder whether this is kind of doing it for us under the hood. Let's do. I'm not going to do that immediately, but let's do valid passports. Apply rows, and we'll call this our like foo func fun. And we're just gonna let's just do one in, one out. So let's do ECL as our in column. Oh, this is doing some mapping as well, isn't it? So A is getting mapped to X, and X is getting passed in here. So let's do ECL as X. And that's it. Let's just pass in one column for now. And then out calls is going to be called out, and it's mp.float64. Okay. And let's just pass it straight through. INAE in enumerate. This seems to be looping over X and Y. What's going on here? Yeah, so it's enumerating over these things. I'm only passing in one thing, which is X at the moment. Does apply rows add the CUDA-matic to your function? I'm guessing so. I can't see where I'm having to do this. So when QDF executes a UDF, it gets just-in-time compiled to a CUDA kernel and then is run on the GPU. So yes, I think it's applying the JIT magic for us. So for I in enumerate that, we don't need to zip it because we only got X, and that's just going to be, let's call it A, let's call it ECL, called. And then I'm just going to do out I equals, this is a string, so I don't think it will, yeah, MP is not defined. Oh, okay, that's fine. Import numpy as MP. Type error. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. User-defined functions are not currently supported on D types with string and category. Okay. This is what we were getting the other day. We can't have strings in here, so these, we need to convert these to something else. The other day I was having to do the conversion on the CPU. Here, I'm just gonna open the door 1 second. Okay. So that's interesting. What we did before was convert these to like byte strings effectively, but like arrays of bytes converted to ordinals, which is probably fine. I just might need to set some stuff up ahead of time here, and things might just get a little funky, but I think that would be okay, because it wants us to do some checking, like, you know, this has to be 4 digits, and it has to be at least these numbers. But let's try it. Let's just try it with 1 and see what's going on. Let's take birth year, BYR. I'm just curious, if I do valid passport.byr, oh, series, there's no apply rows. Eye color has to be exactly one of those. Okay, let's go. Let's stick with this, right? So we've got ECL, but it's not happy because it can't be a string. So let's convert that. Maybe we need to do that when we read it in. Maybe they need to be the same length. I'm not sure. Let's just try this. Let's just do that equals that. But this is going to be odd char or char in J. Oh. There. Wrong place. Okay. Now I have these. Everything should still work, right? It's just that we now have lists of character positions. The answers that coming out here should, yeah, we're still at 196 here. If I apply rows, we've got type error. That's interesting. Valid passports is this. Valid passports dot d types. A list. Maybe it's now because it's a list. I wonder if I can I do QDF to QPy or QDF to an ND array. I'm just thinking if I can kind of iterate over this. Like, this data's on the GPU now, right? Like, this valid passports thing. Does that have like a data type or an array? No. QDF to array. As GPU matrix? QDF as GPU matrix. It's a bug, but thanks, Graham. No worries. I will see how we go. Okay, so I can do valid passports as GPU matrix. Type error. Cannot interpret list column as a data type. Yeah, that makes sense. If column list column data type. Maybe I need to read these in like padded like an array. I'm going to try reading it in again and just see how I go. What would happen if you called byte array on each list? Well, I don't think I can do that. Would you mean up here? Like up before I moved to that, right? I don't know the syntax for that. Let me just Google it. Python list to byte array. Oh, it's literally just byte array. Okay. Byte array. Like that. Ooh. Unsupported type ID. Yeah, okay. It doesn't like byte arrays. That's a shame. I see where we were going with that, but PDF did not like that. It's all right. No, don't be sorry. It's I mean, I wonder if I should just try doing this with, like, instead of worrying about all of this stuff and trying to write a kernel, whether I could just do this in like a higher level data frame type thing, as in, let's stop doing this for a second. Let's just make that J again. So I've got my string values here. Then let's do like, oh, I need to convert some things, don't I? Because they're all strings at the moment. But I wonder if I can do like valid passports dot hgt dot stir dot contains, and type it all contains centimeters. Method has no attribute contains. Let's just go qdf string or qdf stir. Oh, was it? Okay, maybe that's it. On Ian's. Oh, okay. Maybe I should just do all this filtering like this. So it needs to be. I wonder if I just need to do like a series of filters. The valid passport contains centimeters or inches. It said inches was valid as well, didn't it? I'm just curious to see how many of these come out. 59 rows. So we could, I guess, come through each thing and try and work out doing it this way. Let's run through that way of doing things. So I can't remember if is it this in pandas. Inches. You or two things can't compute Boolean. Pandas, or I'm sure pandas has some like extra syntax for this, right? Oh, it's that kind of thing. Okay, so that's given me 184 rows where these have some things that are successful. So that was height, wasn't it? And then we've got to check the number. If centimeters, the number must be between here and here. And if, yeah, this is why I wanted to do it like on a row by row basis, so I could actually check it out. Checking these bounds is going to be a bit of a pain, I reckon. I wonder if I almost need to do like, I wonder if I can do dot, is that a replace function? Thinking yes. CM with nothing. Okay. And inches with nothing. So I could do that, so I just get these values here. This would be valid passport dot height. So I'm just going to start doing this as a series of filters. Let's do height first. Ah, no, see, I wanted to do if centimeters is right, let's try this. I don't think this is the trouble with doing it this way, is I'm going to mess up my valid passports data frame. Let's not do that. Let's just say height.string. I'm going to do that, and then valid passports dot height. So I'm gonna do it like that, so then we get this, and then we'll do a string replace on that, and then we can do I cast the type. I just Google pandas first. Pandas string to int. String to integer in pandas. ed.to numeric. Wonder if qdf to numeric. Okay, maybe it is a thing then. Can I do qdf.to numeric? qdf numeric. Oh, maybe this is super new. Okay, it's merged into v 0.17. And we're on v 0.16. Okay. This exists in a newer version of QDF. That's a shame. Yeah, so I could potentially switch to the nightly version of QDF to get this feature, but I don't really want to do that here. That's frustrating because that's exactly what I want to happen. I'm slightly tempted to try this again because that's going to work. Let's go through some other things. So height, I'm going to convert it to numeric, and then I can check, is it between this and this, or this and this, and then, you know, drop those columns. Hair color, I can do things. Let's just make another header called hair, and we could do valid passports hair color dot. So the first thing it said was check that it contains, check that it starts with a hash. So can I do .str.starts with hash? Okay, that's nice, that works well. And then it has to be exactly 6 characters of those. So I could check that the length is 7 or something. We say and. Does it have this string.length? Or do I need to do a len on it? Len. String.length is equal to 7. Like that. Interesting these are coming out as false, because that's not like an is or something, is it? No. Not. Do you reckon? Pandas tends to use that. Yeah, Pandas tends to use that ampersand for these kind of things, and the or. I mean, we could just do this in multiple steps, right? Like, as in, like, valid passports equals valid passports where hair color starts with that. Right, and just have a look at it. We've like filtered that down a bit. They all start with that. Now I could do valid passports.length equals 7. Is that? So again, we could do the same filter, right? But that in there. And have a look at valid passports. Shorter again. And then we need it to be like, it can only contain certain things, right? I mean, I could do this as like a collection of valid characters. So I need to check if it is a hash or any number or A through F, right? What it said, isn't it? Yeah, hash or that or A through F. Yeah, we need to check the other 6 things. I wonder if I want to do like valid passports dot HCL equals valid passports dot HCL dot. I need to do like that dot string dot replace. I wonder if I can like pandas string replace first character. I'm thinking and not explaining. I'm thinking about like, what if there's 2 hashes like in a row? Replace only the first character. I'm gonna do that kind of thing. String dot replace. Oh, do it with the regex. Yeah, maybe actually I can do that. So if I can do like hat hash with nothing. Okay, that's giving me just the hashes. And then I need to do like pandas string contains any in list. I wonder if I could do it with a regular expression. Pandas string compare with. Oh, I wonder if I could do the whole thing with a regular expression. Dot match. Give it a regular expression. Yeah, maybe that's exactly the right way to do it. Let's just try doing. Okay, so that string dot match. Yeah, okay. This is what I want to do. And this will be 0 through 9, A through Z. Never remember my regular expression. Regular expression, N characters. Square bracket like that, I think maybe. I want 6. And then the dollar for the end, right? Yeah, that's exactly how to do it. The valid passports is going to be valid passports, and then filtered by that. Now valid passports is 46 rows. No, A through Z, I don't want that. I want A through F. That seems okay. I wonder if I should just try doing the whole lot with regular expressions, like this. Oh no, I don't know if I'll be able to do that for the heights and things, but I can keep going. Let's keep going. So birth year, 4 digits, but those require like some numerical stuff. And then expiration year, 4 digits between that. Height is, we could check for those things, but not the rest. Eye color, that's fine, that was easy. Oh, haircut, yeah, we could do eye color. Let's say eye color. Let's do it in English. And those are the valid options. Let's do valid passports. Let's just do it exactly like that. And then let's get those out, and we'll go like that, and then put them in a group, and then do an OR. I know that's eye color, that. Okay. So string matches that. Then if I do valid passports, that, and check the length. 134. That's filtered some out. Okay, that worked. That was eye color. Passport ID has to be a 9-digit number, including leading zeros. Okay. I'm just out of curiosity going to do passport. Let's do passport ID. Passport ID. This will just be, is it PID? Yeah, PID. Let's not go too crazy yet. Let's just go like that. This will be PID.match. And this will be 0 through 9. It said 9 times, didn't it? ID is 9-digit number. Okay, that works. $127. Right, we're whittling them down. We've done. Right, height is going to be a bit more exciting. We're not going to do any of this, are we? We just want to filter it down with regular expressions. I'm going to delete these because I'm not actually using those. Right. We've done hair, done eye color, we've done passport ID. Let's just do length. Valid passports. We're trying to make things neat, right? So let's just reset this. 96 rows, which is the answer to part 1, and then we're going to do 146, now 134, now 127. Let's keep going. We've got to do birth year, issue year, expiration year. I'm just going to make headers for these. Birth year, expiration year. Last one. Issue year. Year. We had height. Yeah. Right. Birth year, issue year, expiration year. We've done that, and height, which we need to do. We've done hair color, eye color, passport ID, and we don't care about country ID. So let's just get some empty cells here. The height is going to be does it contain, oh, it has to finish with centimeters. And then we need to like filter it down onto like, does it contain centimeters? And then we need to just drop that, and then we need that is numeric, right? Wonder if regex number between matching numeric ranges with a regular expression. Regex for 1900 2000. I mean, I could probably think about this, but regex match that ends with 4 digits. Yeah, I wonder if I write a regular expression for year. So let's do valid passports. Let's move height down the bottom. And we'll start with birth year. So valid passport is it BYR for birth year? Right, and this is a string, so let's do dot string dot match. I mean, the very first check I could do is it 0 to 9 4 times? Right, that works. But then actually what we want to do is we need to check whether it's between 1920 and 2002. I don't know if I can do, I wonder if this is why they've done this, is so that you can't construct, because this could be a 1 or a 2, but it can't be 29, right? This could be 9 or 0, right? But it can't be 29 and it couldn't be 10. I guess you could make, I mean, this will either be 19 or 20. And then this half, yeah, so you could do something like, is this 19 or 20? And then is this, it could be between 20 and 99, or 1 and 2. I mean, I could probably write a regular expression for that. Let's try it. This is not super pleasant, but let's go. This is either 19 or 20, followed by literally do like 00 or 01 or 02 or 2 to 9 and 0 to, as in like, yeah, okay, or 2 to 9 followed by 0 to 9. Say 1 time something. Regex 1 time. 1 time only. Oh yeah, maybe I just need to put like, still not happy with that, is it? Because I don't think that's right. If I just have a look at this, 1986 should be fine. So we should have 1 9, and then this should be 7 8, and that's, oh, there we go. Right, that works. This is unpleasant. I feel like I've kind of gone off down a horrible regular expression route to try and do this, but let's see. If I get any of these wrong, it's gonna just not work, is it? So that's unpleasant. That's for birth year, right? So birth year is between that and that. Now let's next move on expiration year, which said expiration year from between 2020 and 2030. Oh, that's easier. So is that EYR? EYR. Expiration year. Right, so it has to start with 20. And then we can have 2 or 3 one time. Oh no, we can't have. I can think of really unpleasant ways of doing this, as in like 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. That's super gross. Don't do things like this. Works though. But like, really what I want to do is use the is numeric in QDF and then just do a if greater than this and less than this, right? That's the right way to do this. But it needs rapid to 0.17 and we have 0.6. So let's keep going with this unpleasantness. And see how far we get with doing really unpleasant stuff. There's 120 there. The last one is issue year, which is going to be the same thing but 2010 to 2020. And that's IYR, isn't it? Issue year. So I'm just going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's just extremely unpleasant as well, isn't it? That has to be issue. Yeah, 2010 to 2020. Issue. No, and that's issue, yeah. Right, there's whittling them down slowly but surely. So the last one is height, which is the most complicated one. Number followed by either centimeters or inches. If it's centimeters, it can be here to here. Or if it's centimeters, it can be, inches, it can be here to here. Just make sure I'm just not being crazy. Regex number between 1 and 31. Yeah, there's lots of very unpleasant regular expressions for doing this. I might even put in here, I'm using regular expressions, which makes me sad. I might just be able to get through to the end. Might be able to work my way through. But let me just. I just want to make sure I don't have any meetings. No, that's fine. So let's start with HGT. Let's start with centimeters. Let's have valid passports dot HGT. Just so we can have a look at it, and then we'll do dot string dot contain. No, it match our regular expression again. So that would be CM dollar because we're finishing. Right. What have I done wrong? That ends with CM, so we should match CM dollar. I wonder if do I need to do like dot star? Oh, and it has to be between centimeters. Has to be 3 numbers. Oh, I could even do 1 1 because that's the same. So it has to be cat 1, and then it can be 5 through 9. 5 through 9 1 times, and then it can be 0 through 9 apart from if that's 9. I might put these in groups. So this can be 5 through, let's go 5 through 8, and then 0 through 9 once. But then let's put that in like an OR. So it can either be 5 through 8, or it can be 9 and then 0 through 3. Is it 3? 1 time. Runtime error. Invalid regular expression. What have I missed? 5 through 8 1 time, 0 through 9 1 time, or 9 0 through 3 1 time. Meters, that's a capturing group. What have I done wrong now? It'll be this group, right? By taking that half out, that's fine. Wait. Valid regular expression. Why can't I do that in here? The whole point of this group was to add an OR. Let's run that again. If I do 0 0 or that worked. If I do 9, and then it will be 0 through 3 1 time. Do I need to specify 1 time? I don't know if I do. I think maybe 1 time is like implied. Okay, so we've got that first one. Now let's do the same in inches, which is 59 to 76. So it has to be inches, and then it has to be, right, so 59. Let's do it this way. Let's say 59 or 60 to 70. So 6 to 7, 0 through 9, or no, yeah, it'd be 59 or 6, 0 to 9, or 7, 0 to 6, 0 to 6. Got those two, and then if we do or, got our new thing, and then let's say valid passports equals valid passports that, and then length valid passports. Oh, hang on, press the wrong key. 114. I think that's all of them, isn't it? So we've done birth year, issue year, and expiration year. Birth year, issue year, expiration year in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. Height, which we've just done. We did hair color, eye color, hair color, eye color, and passport ID, which we did. Right, so that answer 114. Hey, the right answer. Okay, don't do that. Never. This is not a good way to do this. Please don't do this. Please wait for Rapids 0.17 and then use it as numeric function, because this is silly. This is very, very silly. But it worked. It got me the right answer. It just means I've written some really unpleasant regular expressions, which is just bonkers. But oh well, we got the end of day 4 with an answer. So I'm 4 for 4 at the moment, and I have an answer. And I did a lot of this on the GPU, which is good. And yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.